What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. This is episode 1 of the Wholesome podcast. Just a fun little project that we've started here with myself, Konner Malcolm, and a couple of buddies, Ryan Hughes and Bradley Phelps. We appreciate you joining. Hopefully, we can provide you some entertainment for the next few minutes here, and down the road bring you some cool stories and some cool people. Ryan and Brad and I kind of got together, and the reason we wanted to do this is our passion for golf. And one of the coolest things about golf is the people you meet, the stories you hear, the stories you get to tell, the good shots you hit, the bad shots you hit, all of it. The great courses you play, the not so great courses you play. They all have a story, and we love to hear them, and we love to talk about them. One of our things is we would like to bring some feel good stories in the golf and industry and outside of the golf industry to all of our friends and family, and like we said, we want it to be wholesome. So I will introduce myself a bit here, and then these other two guys. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Konner Malcolm. I've been playing golf since I was 18. I picked it up a little late because I was a baseball player, and found out that I wasn't that athletic, so I decided to try golf. These other guys didn't have that problem. So I basically was addicted from the get-go, and it hasn't stopped. So I am now a territory manager for Strixon, Cleveland, and ASICS. It's a great job, a lot of fun, keeps me very busy, and I really enjoy it. So I get to play quite a bit of golf, and that's a big part of my life. So it's pretty cool. It's how I met my wife. We met through the golf industry, and a lot of my best friends. So Ryan, if you want to kick us off here and kind of tell people how we met, and I'll chime in on a few things because you're going to leave out some of the good stuff.
Oh yeah, probably intentionally. My name's Ryan. I actually live in Northwest Arkansas. My wife and I and our 2 kids live here. We moved here about 5 years ago to plant a church, and so we are on staff at a church here. I play golf when I can, and love it. Love it up here. I've been playing since I was I think 3 is when I started swinging golf clubs. So whole time I was athletic. I had tons of options. Could have played football. No, I'm just kidding. No, golf was it. Once I quit growing and basketball was out of the picture, golf was it. But yeah, Konner and I met, I don't even know the year, man, 2014 maybe?
12 or 13, I think.
Yeah, at a FCA golf camp in Abilene, Texas. We were both camp counselors, which God knows why anybody would trust us to do that, to lead a group of middle school, high school dudes. So did that. And we made it through a lot. Konner's car got totaled one year at golf camp by a hailstorm in the middle of summer, which was wild. From hail, yeah. So we did that a couple years. Konner ended up moving to Abilene, take a job at Diamondback, what's now Diamondback National Golf Club. They really upped the game with
great name
title there. Oh. I wonder where they got the national from. Konner moved in with me. We lived in the same bedroom, literally shared a bedroom, twin mattresses.
Sometimes same bed.
Yeah, depending on how cold it was. Couldn't afford heating. Yeah, he drove a Dodge Dart for a while, dude. I saw an ad for that the other day, and I was like, bro, Konner had a sick Dodge Dart. I mean, it's pretty sick. Yeah, worked together for a little while. What was it, 6 months, and then you moved back to DFW?
It was that. Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Yeah,
it just. I loved living there, but just I was making $0, and I was spending them all.
Yes. Yeah. Usually on the golf course, I'm pretty sure. But yeah.
not great.
So that's
some unfortunate gambling games.
Yeah.
Well, you skipped my favorite part. I knew this was going to happen. First night FCA camp, hadn't met Ryan yet. He lives in Abilene, all right? He's playing college golf in Abilene. So he has the same place that we ended up living together. And me and another leader are staying in the dorm rooms. And let me tell you something. They're not nice. These are built in like the 30s, okay?
Yeah.
The bed that I was on was built in the 30s. Ryan brings his air mattress. I'm pretty sure it was an air mattress. Hopefully you didn't just sleep on the ground. I can't quite remember. Slept between me and the other counselor on the ground between the two dorm room beds. It was basically just because we hit it off, basically instantly. So we wanted to hang out.
Yeah. I don't even remember that, dude. It's been a long time.
We've been friends ever since. So pretty awesome. But
in each other's weddings, did that whole thing.
Yep. So a lot of fun. Ryan and I go pretty far back, and eventually he'll get sick of me, and I'll have to find a new friend. But yeah. So let's move on to Brad. He's had a much more successful golf career than you and I, Ryan. So we'll get to hear a little bit about that.
I won't go that far, but so yeah, I'm Brad. Live in the DFW area here, close to Konner. Here with my wife and two little ones. So like Ryan, I play golf when I can. A little bit more intentional now than it used to be when you're flying solo and you can just play as much golf as you want. So part of me misses those days, but part of me also appreciates having the kiddos around and getting to the point where I can show them the game and get them loving the game that I love so much. But yeah, I picked up the game right before high school. So 7th, 8th grade, never really touched a club, had a buddy invite me out to go play with him. Kind of loved the aspect that I was terrible at something because it required work. I grew up playing all sports, and so it was one of those, what's the next sport I can learn? What's the next sport I can try to get better at? And golf happened to be that one. Kind of went from struggling to make the high school team my freshman year to finding myself in Nacogdoches, Texas, playing college golf at Stephen F. Austin for my college career there. So that was a good time. Anybody who knows Nacogdoches, Texas knows it's a good time, and golf is included in that good time. But yeah, a lot of us like to call it Naca nowhere because, well, it's in the middle of nowhere, so it's fair. But no, I had a good time in college. Really enjoyed the college golf scene and getting plugged in there, and it was actually really there where I started kind of plugging in at tournaments with the College Golf Fellowship guys, so Marcus Jones and Matt Van Zant and a couple of the other guys. See them at a bunch of tournaments, do Bible studies, things like that, and led to a lot of these summer 4-ball tournaments that they would have and the retreats that they would have. And I believe that's where Konner and I first met, was at a retreat. I don't know if it was either at a 4-ball or a retreat, but I do remember going to Ben Crane's house for one of the retreats, and then the last one I went to was at Tony Romo's house, which was a pretty nice treat, and also kind of just to see the different side of somebody. But yeah, after playing college, I went and coached a couple years a Division II college golf up in the Denver area at Regis University, and enjoyed just being immersed in golf for a couple more years, putting off my professional life for a couple more years, because I mean, who really knows what they want to do when they're done with college?
Married to the game, baby.
It's exactly right. Married to the game. So yeah, I left there, came back home for a couple of years, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what life looked like. Ended up getting into marketing, so that's what I do now. Marketer by day, dad by night, and golfer whenever I can be. But I had a chance to kind of jump back into the competitive golf scene after a couple of years not playing very much, and actually kind of got lucky. Had a good hot round, as Konner's shaking his head, and qualified for the U.S. Mid-Am last year. So that was a cool treat and a cool re-entry back into what now is Mid-Am golf for me. So finally I've reached the age where Mid-Am golf is the life. But yeah, it's just in the pursuit of getting back there. You get a taste of it once, and you want to keep going. So that's kind of where we stand now.
There was no luck involved in that, Brad. You know it. You and I both know there is no luck.
Catch a heater. That's all you need. You just need a one-round.
He's a striped chef. He has never missed the center of the face, let me tell you. Ryan and I don't have that problem. I typically chrome it. But chrome it is something that you'll hear a lot from me. That's whenever you miss the grooves completely. You hit it so far in the toe that you hit it in the chrome. I've actually had to replace a set of irons before because I had worn the chrome out. So tough to hear how good Brad is at golf, and everybody's a bit jealous, but we'll get over it. I got a couple of quick things for you boys, just so the guys can get to know you a little bit better. I want to know what your favorite golf course is, and I kind of want you to go into a little bit of detail, and I'll do the same for me. Something about me is I'm not that I'm educated on it or know anything about it, but I do enjoy golf course architecture and just seeing a different type of hole and what makes a hole good and what makes a hole bad, and things that you would like to change on a certain golf course. And that's something that we're hoping to bring to everybody, doing some course videos with some content out there, and just talk about different things on the golf course, something that people haven't really thought about or hopefully haven't seen. And we'll just bring you some fun stuff. So Ryan, I know what your favorite course is, and I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, mine is played it recently last February. It's about a year and a half ago. My dad and I went to Pinehurst, and it was in February. It was an ice storm in Arkansas. It was crazy. The weather wasn't great, but we got to play Pinehurst number 4, and man, I don't know what it was about that golf course. Even 40 degrees and like drizzling the whole time was so good. I just loved every minute of it. Obviously, the company is great. That's something my dad and I have always connected with, is golf. My parents are retired, and they just travel. My parents' goal is to play in every state, and they're at like awesome. 30, like 39 or something like that. Like they're getting up there. So that was a really cool experience. Not just the course, but I think everything about it. Man, Pinehurst is just so like, it's like hallowed ground. Obviously Konner wearing the number 2 hat, like US Opens have been played there, but you get on the Cradle and you get on putting course, this will do. And it's like, it's totally different. Not what you'd expect from like a prestigious resort. We got to go
you
to
do not get resort vibes.
No. And it's just incredible because you're on the golf course. And you're like, man, some of the greatest players in the world have walked right here where I am. But then you go play the Cradle and you're like, these people are barefoot. They got transfusions in hand and music playing. Man, it's a great atmosphere. I just fell in love with Pinehurst in general. But yeah, I think I shot 77. Pretty brutal out there. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I played all the way back because like I'm not a
Why
sissy,
not?
right? I mean, Konner likes to play up.
You better get your money's worth.
Yeah, Konner likes to play up a few boxes where he can go super low, but I like to be tossed around out there. So, just kidding. But yeah, number 4, man, it's been that was great, and I can't wait to go back there when the weather's good and it's like green. So, yeah.
So I obviously I recently got to play number 4 and number 2 as well, and the Cradle, and I loved 4. I want to know, do you have a favorite hole?
I do. I don't know what it was about it, but number 17, par 5, long, tee shot. You're kind of carrying some junk there.
Gosh,
I don't know.
yeah,
Just from the tee box, like the entire hole, every view was great. That one stood out to me for sure.
17's great. That awesome little center line bunker. It's not a very big bunker, but it's right in that spot where a lot of people hit it. We were playing in a foursome and 2 people hit it in there, and so that just shows you like it was just so well designed. That's a great hole. I agree. The place is awesome. Hopefully next time you go, I'll get to go with you.
Come on, you're invited. I guess.
Brad, you got one for us?
Ooh, honestly, I'd probably have to say where I went and played in the Mid-Am last year. So Sankaty Head, up in Nantucket. Partially one because of the fact that it's probably a golf course that you take the Mid-Am part of it out of it and not qualifying something like that, you probably would never make the trip up or get the opportunity to go play. So had I known about it, probably could have been something on a bucket list type of a golf course to go play. But yeah, just everything about the course was awesome, and the bonus getting to play it in a USGA setup just made it even that much better. Kind of eats you alive at times, but it was awesome. The walk was great. I mean, you don't really feel like you are on an island like that. Kind of gives you a little bit of a linksy type of vibe at times, with a little bit of island mixed in. You get the iconic lighthouse over there off of 5T, which was pretty dope. You don't get a lot of those unless you're over somewhere along the coast. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah, pretty cool. I've seen a lot of pictures, and it's just different because you can't just drive to it, right? It's just a unique experience. I wish that I was able to qualify last year, but I'm a mid-80s guy, so there was no chance I was getting in. So, yeah, super cool for both of you guys. Both those places are great. I'm going to go a little bit different than you guys. Both of the places you chose are USGA type places. I'm going to go for one that's a little bit off the radar here. And a lot of people have probably heard of it now, but I was lucky enough. I have a good friend that took me and another friend of ours to Ballyneal in Colorado. It is in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. We left Denver. It's about 3.5 hours, something like that, from Denver. The whole place doesn't have a golf cart. It's designed by Tom Doak, and I think from playing there and then playing a couple other places he designed, he's a guy that everywhere I've played of his, I just really, really enjoy it. It's a place where certain holes you could aim 40, 50 feet left of the hole and you could have a tap in. Just depending on playing it off of slopes, playing, all kinds of crazy things like that. And, something that's big for me is a golf course that's really fun. I don't want to get beat up every day or every time I go out and play. It's fun every now and then to kind of get slapped around out there. But Ballyneal is just special. Every hole out there is fun. Every hole you could make a birdie on, or if you hit the driver really crooked, you can make some big numbers. But I really enjoyed Ballyneal. I think it's definitely number one on my list right now. And I'm sure some people may think I'm crazy for saying that. Some people that have played it, because I have been very lucky and gotten to play some other places. That Pebble, Kapalua is really fun. All the Pinehurst, obviously, and Tobacco Road. All those are great, but Ballyneal still, just to this day, the memories from walking around that place are incredible. And something that I think is really fun is they don't set up any tee markers, and there's a ton of places to tee off from. but they don't set up tee markers. So the way that the members play is whoever won the previous hole gets to pick where you tee out from. So
like that.
You know, the first time around we had caddies, and we kind of played it as far back as we could for the most part. You know, we mixed it up a little bit. They told us some of the fun tee shots, and it's just a blast. So it's like a playground for a golf nut like me, and I love that. So we stayed on the property, and there's a putting green. I believe it's about 150 yards long, drops like, I don't know, 40, 50 feet from top to bottom with tons of slope. We put some glow sticks in the holes, took some glow balls out, and we putted till I think like 1:32 in the morning, and it was just great. The one last thing about it that I think is just awesome, and I think, you know, a lot of places should do this, is one of the members on our second day we were playing, we teed off second, and the group in front of us was a member and a guest, and the member's dog, and the dog walked with him all day. And I just think that's so cool. Just like a walk in the park with your golf clubs. So super cool, really enjoyed it, and I hope to go back one day. I hope you boys get to go back. It's definitely worth it. So very cool. But one other thing I want to ask you boys before we kind of move on, and is a bucket list golf course that you have, and then as well, and your lowest score you've ever shot. Just so some of the people that do start to listen will kind of realize how good you guys are, and you know that I think we'll figure out real fast that Brad is the best. So sorry, Ryan, but I'll start with the bucket list and my low score. My bucket list for me is definitely the old course, and I want it in all of the old course conditions. I want it blowing 30, maybe a little rain mixed in, a little chilly, and I want to shoot 85. So
easy.
It's just I just one day I really want to experience it, and I want to, you know, I'd really like to experience it with my dad, and maybe my wife if we could go play, and so hopefully we can make that happen sometime. For lowest score, mine is 63. I've shot it 6 times, I think. And as you guys know, it can be 63 or it can be 93 with me. There's not really any in between. So it's fun when you take it low. I will say most of my 63s have been on fairly easy golf courses. So that's it. It's not necessarily that cool to shoot it there. But yeah, Brad, you got a bucket list and a low round for us. I think I know which low round you're going with.
You know the low round.
What was that, Ryan?
Where did you shoot 63?
I shot it at Oakmont in Corinth, not the real Oakmont. If it was at the real Oakmont, I would wear a shirt that says I shot 63 every day of my life. And then Stevens Park. Trying to figure out where else. A couple places here in Dallas. Stevens Park is pretty fun. It's special. It's old school. See the skyline. It's just really square greens. But it's driver wedge everywhere. I would love to play that place with a balata ball and persimmon heads. I just think that golf course, you know, playing like that, it changes a lot, and I think it would be really special. So, but yeah, mainly a couple places around DFW. I think I have maybe one on a trip in Arizona at one point, maybe at one of the Troons. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a fun one. So, Brad, how about you, man?
Well, I guess we'll start with the bucket list golf course. I mean, like you, I've had a chance to play some pretty cool ones, including kind of out there in the Pebble, Spanish Bay area. So you kind of check some of those off the box. But one that I'm sure that a lot of people would love to play, and I would like to play in a specific event at this golf course, just because of the nature that it is a major mid-am event. But the tournament's the Crump Cup, but they play it at Pine Valley. I mean, we're talking about like the golf course of all golf courses, if arguably just as good, if not better than Augusta National at times. And so it depends on who you ask. But yeah, they typically play an event every year. It is the highest of high tiers. I would even consider saying that those who get to play in that event are on an echelon probably a little bit different than even a USGA event, just because the nature is so. I'm sure it just comes by sheer invitation. But just playing the mid-am last year and having a couple guys come from there, some from the DFW area and some from other places, and talking about how they just came from Pine Valley and playing in the Crump Cup and then going to the US mid-am. I'm like, that seems like a life that I want to live. That seems like something special. I would love to do.
Yeah, pretty special.
But yeah,
I have another friend that's played in it, and I've heard all about it. And it's, I don't think I have the ability to be on that level, so I definitely didn't have that as a goal for myself. But I think you can do it, bud.
It's a long-term goal. I don't know if it's anytime soon, but life happens, and maybe things turn in the tides, and we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, even if I get the opportunity to play out there, it would still be awesome. And then as far as low round, so Konner got to see this one up close and personal here about a month and a half ago, here in the DFW area. We were playing a 4-ball event, and shot 62. So that was one of those days, and of course, definitely did not follow it up with anything close to that. Probably actually shot closer to 80 the next day than I did 62. So it happens. But yeah,
golfer's hot.
Hey, the putter is hot, and the golf course. Those who are local to the DFW area would know it as maybe G-Cod. Some people local would call it G-Cod, but it's the Golf Club of Dallas. Used to be Oak Cliff Country Club back in the day, and used to really be the spot for a lot of the Dallas Cowboys. Pretty sweet golf course. Bro. Yeah, very, very old school. Very, very old school vibes. Even the locker room with the card tables and the poker tables, and it just kind of gives you that really old school, in the neighborhood type of a vibe, which is something that's fun. And like Konner mentioned, some of the golf courses in the DFW area are very driver, wedge, pitch and putt, however you want to call it, and very much one of those type of golf courses too. But it's got some quirky holes, it's definitely one of those golf courses that if you know how to play it is out there for the taking. And thankfully I had Konner on the cart with me. He's had a significant amount of experience playing there.
I played it a ton because we played quite a bit of section events there. I won the assistant championship there. So it's I know the place well, and let me just tell you though, Ryan, riding around with him, watching him shoot this 62, I'm sitting in the cart with a Dr. Pepper, obviously. I'm enjoying it. It's like I was on the couch at home.
John Dalying it out there.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Just flushing it, And I know he said it's kind of a pitch and putt, but I played that place a million times, and it's hard to get things to go in the hole. It just is. There were some really good amateur players there that week, and I had only heard of one other score that week that was anywhere close to Brad. So definitely a lot of fun to watch. So
it was a good one. Yeah, it was a fun time. One of those two eagles in one round definitely gets you jump started. And that was kind of one of those like, all right, it's your day when you're doing something right, and that happens. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can be as consistent as Konner and get 6 low scores like that, because mine maybe aren't near as frequent as probably Konner's.
You gotta play easier courses.
You're fine.
How about you, Ryan? I know of one really low when you shot.
Yeah.
I've heard about it too, and I've heard the golf course it's on too is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was about a year ago. Yeah, just a little over a year ago now. We got done with a church event this weekend. It was one of those, like, it's like Easter, like
Yeah.
it just wipes you out. And it was in September, we had this women's event that we're all hands on deck for. And so we finish, and me and my buddy go play Ozarks National in the Branson area. They call it Hollister, Missouri, because I don't think they want to be associated with Branson, but it's Branson. So man, we get up there, and long weekend. I don't think I've played in like 2-3 weeks. And just get out there and birdie the first 3, and it was like feeling pretty good. End up birdieing 5, then birdied 7, 8, 9, shoot 29 on the front 9. Was like, oh my gosh. I mean, that has never happened to me in my life. I remember standing over like a 5-footer on 9 with my knees shaking because I knew it was for 29, and I made it.
I love it.
Yeah, I dropped my putter. My buddy looked at me. He's like, "Man, you played good. Was that like 3 birdies on the front?" And I was like, 7. And
Oh no.
I mean, just crazy. Ended up shooting even on the back. Shoot 64 out there.
That's impressive.
Still like just one of those blacked out moments. I made it's like a 35-foot putt on 18 from off the green to shoot 64, and was just stupid. The craziest part was we had some friends in town for this women's event, and one of the girls there, we just casually talking about golf the next day, and my wife was like, what do you think Ryan's going to shoot tomorrow? And of course, these people have no idea, like, really about it.
Right.
And she was like 62, and we all kind of laughed and we're like, no, that's ridiculous. She's like, okay, 64, and
nailed it.
Whatever. And when I made that putt, like, that was the first thing that came to my mind, was like, there's no way. So I texted him. I was like, you're not going to believe it. But great Core Crenshaw design up in the Branson area. One of my favorite courses. Just such a fun layout. Great risk reward golf course too. A lot of fun. But that was best round, and just love it. Great memory. Let's see, bucket list course. I'm getting to go to Bandon in the spring for my 30th. I'm getting before my knees give out. I'm gonna go walk a lot.
I'm going.
Yeah, let's go. So that's gonna be awesome. Those are on the bucket list, but attainable. The next, I'd say I have like 2. One is it's a dream, but it'll never happen. Cypress Point obviously is like, it would take a miracle. But the next one, the real bucket list, would probably be Ballybunion.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you read like Tom Coyne, his golf course called Ireland, but great story. My parents actually got to go see it a couple years ago, sent me pictures, and just an incredible course. I think anything over there in Ireland, Scotland, man, just be awesome to see where golf originated and see how it was meant to be played. Yeah, and Konner, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna go over there, and I want it to be brutal. Like, I want it to be below 40 and raining, and just, yeah, for sure.
I'll be the one complaining, but at the end I'll be like, this was so worth it.
You'll be the one saying, I want to quit. I hate this so much. This is not fun. When can I go to the bar? Where's the 19th hole? Anything and everything that's coming out of your mouth is negative, and then you get done and you'll be like, that was the best round of my life. I enjoyed that more than anything I've ever done.
Yeah, I can't wait to shoot.
Yeah, you guys want to peg it for an E9?
Yeah, you want to go back out? Let's do it.
Yeah, it's definitely just adds to it, I think. And hopefully, Ryan, we get a little bit of that at Bandon in March. We didn't invite Brad because he would beat us really bad, but sorry, bud. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that with you, Ryan. And I truly hope we get some of that weather out there. I think it'll make the experience just a little bit better. As crazy as that sounds, it is nice to play golf every now and then in a bubble with no wind, great weather, but just to experience it like it was meant to be. And I think that's one of the special things about it. So yeah, super excited about that. Obviously, Ryan, great that round at Ozarks is special. You know, Core Crenshaw, he's up there on my list. They're up there on my list. I haven't ever played one of theirs that
not both of them.
that I yeah, just Ben, but no, they do a really nice job. They make the golf course a lot of fun. So I definitely am a little bit jealous that you got to play there, and I've seen it but not played it, and I'm jealous. So
come on up.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll invite Brad to that one and take like 7 clubs out of his bag so we have a chance to beat him.
Yeah. Fingers crossed to get that invite.
Well, I'll wrap it up for us here, boys. We appreciate everybody hopping on and giving us a listen. This is basically just a hobby for us, because we love golf and just talking to people and getting to know people and hearing cool stories, and so that's what we're here for. And then we'll do some on-course stuff. I know I've got one that I'm going to pitch to Brad here soon. Ryan, since you're not local, some of the stuff I'm just going to have to beat Brad by myself. But got some cool ideas, some cool places that I want to take you, and zip the drone around. It's pretty fun. So not even you guys know yet, but I've got a couple people lined up for the next few weeks for the pod. Some guys that we want to interview. I've got a really cool one coming up from he's from Canada. He is sending me head covers right now. If you would follow him on Instagram, Rawhide Golf. Caleb Jeffries is his name. He does some incredible work. I met him at a golf event here in town, and we really hit it off. So I should have some sweet head covers tomorrow. I think they're coming in, so we'll probably post them and give him a shout out. But I talked to him last week. He's looking forward to coming on, and we'll send it from there. So it's lights out and away we go, boys.